Hi.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, we were muted.
I hope you can hear us. Hold on.
Yeah, let's check our sound. Somebody let us know if you can hear us.
Let me double check.
Because we're just, we got a new setup here, so we're checking our sound.
I think it's going to come on and be like, oh my God. Hi. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's start over again. Okay, go for it. Go for it, Wendy.
All right, start over. Hi, everybody. Good day, good love, and good light. Illuminators and way showers, thank you so much for being with us again. My name is Wendy Wolf. This is Bree, and we're here to share with you once again these Wednesdays with Wendy and Bree as we express, explore, and transform through light languages, the languages of light, and everything emits a frequency, resonance, vibration, a sound, a language of light. Everything in creation is light, is love, and we all sing a song of source. We all have our own version and verse of that, and we are really the whole symphony of source. And so many new things exciting today. I wanted to thank all of you who have been with us since the beginning as we started this journey. I can't believe we're really almost into December, and we started this in June.
June 5th.
June 5th, on, of course, the date equal to 11, and today's the 27th of November. And it's an absolute delight to be with all of you today, whether you've been with me since the beginning, and whether it's the beginning of my channel 5 years ago almost in January, or the beginning of these explorations. Thank you to all of you who have been there for all your love and support, and to all of you who are new to this space, this channel. We create a space, sacred space here, where we can explore the idea, this phenomena, if you will, that we understand as light language. And what we have become to understand the songs of our souls and source, and that it speaks directly to and from the heart, from the hearts of even our higher selves. And it allows us to connect in ways that to our multidimensionality and our team, our guides, in ways that we've never been able to before. And so these explorations, when we began this, when I had this idea, it was because I wanted to bring something new to light languages that hadn't been done before, in a way that we can create a space for those of you who are maybe already speaking light languages, who would like to share them with all of us and help activate everyone. And when we say activate, it's about illuminating that which is within us that already exists and maybe we're not aware of, perhaps our psychic abilities, our ability to speak to our higher selves, to understand our thought processes, and to develop more healthy, balanced lives holistically. And often light languages help us dissolve these barriers that create the roadblocks in our life to keep us from really moving forward in a way that we know is for our highest growth and development, but yet these fears that prevent us thinking that we can't do it, we're not capable, we don't have the things that we need, we don't have the resources, we don't have the support, we don't have the people, and these are just beliefs. And a belief is just a thought that we keep thinking, and then we act on those thoughts, and they're not always in our highest joy and for the highest development of our soul. And our soul will send us pretty bold messages when we're not doing it, when we are not living authentically, when we know there's something we should be doing, or maybe, and I don't like to use should because we talk about that word a lot. What we recognize is that something we know is a passion within ourselves that we want to be doing, and yet we should ourselves or tell ourselves that we should be doing or should not be doing something, when it's something that we really, really love to do. And all of you have helped me through these 5 years on YouTube, and all of you who have helped me and Bree in these hangouts, the way we have soared and developed and grown and expressed ourselves, and the way you guys express yourselves helps us. And all of this really leads to this beautiful, beautiful new journey for me. And the fact that Bree is a part of this life-altering journey for me is pretty significant in that when we met, there were so many new, and I say new a lot because one of the things that I was told when I started my light language channel was that I am a speaker. I am in the speaker, teacher, soul group, and then I was speaker new and you, and there were some other synchronicities with that, but I felt like in my journey in meeting Bree that both of us we are speakers in the way that also we want to share this passion with everyone. And in doing so, it helps give everyone else the permission to be you, to develop you. And we share our experiences, not so that we can say, this is the way it should be. It's to demonstrate that when we listen to our hearts, when we follow what we know is true for us, it's right for us. And that anything that's right for someone else is allowed. It exists. Everything that we don't like still exists. We just don't need to focus on it. And all of this leads into this idea of really moving forward in a way that these Wednesdays have truly changed my life in such a way that all of these barriers that I thought were, I can't, I shouldn't, I can't, I realized they simply are thoughts I keep thinking. And if I just change my focus on what I do want, I don't have to try anything. The rest just falls away all by itself. When we begin to focus on what we like, what we desire, when we stop denying what truly brings us our highest joy and passion, because often we tell ourselves there's a reason why we shouldn't be feeling it, don't deserve it, can't have it, as we said earlier. And all of this has been a part of my own experience. And if you guys have been following for a little while, and I want to thank all of you who are out there watching right now, who will watch. Hi, everybody out there. And I'm not even sure who's in the room yet. And we'll introduce everybody in just a minute. This is a whole new day and place and sacred space for me. And there's lots of things I wanted to share with you all today. So you'll see that my room and my background is very different. It's been quite a journey for me these last couple of weeks. And if you've been following or watching us for a little while, the last couple of weeks, if you know my beloved magical cosmic kitty, Cosmo, he transformed and he transformed me. He gave me, tomorrow's my birthday, and being that my birthday falls on Thanksgiving this year, it's truly, I can't tell you how grateful, truly grateful. I am more grateful for what I am experiencing now than probably almost anything in my life, because I've come to this place where I am complete. And I think this is what we're all looking for, complete, where we feel unfragmented, where we feel whole, where we don't need to depend or feel the need to have someone else in our life to feel complete, where once we feel complete, then we find that experience, individual, place, whatever, it just appears in our lives because we're following and by our highest joy and excitement and vibrating exactly where we need to be. And when Kaz passed, I woke up the next morning and something truly happened to me. It was as if this, how we have these epiphanies where it takes sometimes, and I've said this before in several videos, how often we will always say that the worst thing that ever happened in our lives turned out to be the absolute best thing that ever happened. And it's usually, well, always, because when we're resistant just to what is true to us, we develop illness and disease, and we can't follow our guidance. And I was taking a different direction with that, so sorry guys. It happens a lot where I go in a new direction, and that's kind of what this is new direction. And thank you. And the worst things that can be the best things, and that situation with Kaz turned out to be, thank you, the catalyst for the greatest change for me, because it often takes because we ignore it so long, our higher selves have to start screaming. And when we say screaming, it's we manifest that in our lives, which we do not desire, because it's got to push us. And that beautiful, magical little being, that soul that came into my life, gave me the greatest gift and birthday present I could ever ask for. When he said, when I woke up that morning and I heard, you only have now. And how many nows are you not going to be authentic, following your highest joy and passion, knowing what's best for you and everyone involved? And as I began, it was as if, and I think you guys will relate to this if I can explain it. It's as if we make decisions in our lives. Sometimes it takes us years, decades to actually take action on those decisions. And we're here for process, we're here for experience. And there's a reason why that happens, because we're picking up the tools in our toolbox that we need to be able to move on this new journey. And for me, this has been a new journey of epic proportions for me. I have literally relocated. I have literally transformed and said goodbye, if you will, completed this first part of my journey of my life. And to remind all of you that it's never, ever, ever too late. If you think that it's not important anymore because I don't have enough time left, that is never, ever, ever true. And for those of you who may not know me, or I'm going to be 58 years old tomorrow, and there was this thing that said to me, and 58 equals 13, transform. So for me, it was like this idea that this is it. And there's so many other things that go along with this. I'm a Sagittarian, of course, and Jupiter's in Sagittarius. It's going to leave here at the end of very shortly here in the next few months. Venus has moved into my sign. So all of this was a catalyst for me, all of it. All of this was a catalyst for me for a life altering event. And once the decision,
oh my God.
Stefan, did their screen black out?
Yeah, I think so.
Here we go.
I think we are the only one left.
Here they come. Oh no. Surely they'll be back. Wendy was on a roll. And where are you, Stefan? Since it's us.
In Italy. Italy.
Italy. Wow.
You?
Is it dark there now?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Hello.
Hi,
You're
everyone.
back.
Okay, that was strange.
Hello.
Hi, Ivy.
Hi.
The broadcast is still going.
It usually does broadcast, or it drops you right back in. Hi, everybody. You guys okay out there? We sort of went away.
Stefan and I were able to talk. Is it your internet connection?
The world.
We're good.
All right.
Uh-oh, it happened again.
Let's do this. It's unstable. So our internet's unstable right now, but we're figuring it out. So uno momento. I think it's gonna be okay.
I took the live chat off of my, I took my Wi-Fi over here so I can see the live.
Okay.
Just in case.
Great.
Hi guys, sorry, we're talking.
All right. I think we're ready.
All right, sorry about that.
Let me do this and this. Okay. And we're back.
Hi guys.
So you were talking about
Life-changing and Cosmo.
life-changing
And
new location.
And I wanted to say too, Stacy, I just wanted to say hi to Stacy out there. I think a new face. I just wanted to say hello. And Stacy says, definitely where I'm currently at in life. And Zinnia, I'm glad you followed your heart. It will never fail you. And you know, you guys, this is the segue, which is what I love about this. This is the segue that I was looking for, because when I made, as I said, sometimes we take a lifetime to make the decision, but once we make the decision, it's immediate. It becomes so illogical to continue to continue on a path that you know is not your truest and highest path and for your highest soul. And so it was like an immediate decision, but it wasn't an immediate decision. So that's why I wanted to kind of clarify that a little bit. It was something that we know in our hearts that we put off and put off and put off. And then it takes that catalyst, as we mentioned earlier. And it was interesting, Zinnia, that you said that exact thing, because, and I don't know if you guys heard that earlier where we cut off, but as we were drinking my coffee, it says on the back, life is short, stay awake for it.
I think that's when
and that's how I think when it stopped. So, and that's how I felt. I was awake, but I was that there was parts of me that I was still allowing to sleep that wanted to wake up. And I was not ready to acknowledge them. And it was interesting because, a dear sister of mine, hi Connie, if you're watching, she was having a hard time, and I had given her, just happened to come across these bracelets somewhere. And I had picked up a few of them, and the first one, I believe the first one that I gave her was, anything, I'm not in the right place. Thanks. I'm not in the right place. So anything is possible is what it says on here. Now, I prefer the idea of everything is possible, because I think sometimes anything feels a little limiting, whereas everything sounds like everything's possible. And this is where we have to understand in creation itself, everything is possible. Things exist we don't necessarily want to focus on, but that doesn't mean it means we still need, it gives us the opportunity to change our state of being, that we do focus on that which we do desire rather than on that which we don't. And by doing that, that is how we change the world. That is how we make it better. That is how we literally change the things that we don't want to see in the world, by making the change ourselves to move into that idea and living that. And so when I had given that to her, when she was going through some challenging times, and as I was leaving to embark on this new journey, she gave it back to me. And in addition to giving it back to me, and Zinnia, you'll find this beautifully synchronistic, because the other one says, follow your heart. Sorry, I'm trying to hold the thing. There we go. And this one says follow your heart, and it's got a heart on it.
Zinnia literally just had commented, I'm glad you followed your heart. It will never fail you.
Exactly.
She just commented that.
Right in YouTube, she says, I'm glad you followed your heart. It will never fail you. And that's where this, so Connie, if you're watching, thank you, my dear sister. Thank you for all of the beautiful, wonderful, synchronistic gifts and having my diffused water in my fruit today. So thank you, dear. So that, when that snap decision was made, it was as if time, I don't know, stopped. And it became very evident to me over the last few weeks that something was developing in my life that I could no longer ignore. And I told Bree, well, she already knew, but I told Bree about my idea. And I said, you know what? I don't know if I can pull this off. I really want to do this by my birthday. And we only had a week?
It was a week.
1 week. We had 1 week, you guys, to prepare.
We were talking, last week.
It was it Wednesday?
And it was like,
it was Wednesday because
it was Wednesday.
And
yeah, after
Wednesday
evening.
After Wednesday, and that was it. It was like,
now to the logical mind, it seems impossible, absurd, crazy, ridiculous. No way.
And even I said, I can't do this. And it was because I felt like I physically couldn't make it happen because it was a lot.
Moving.
But I would tell you guys,
a house.
I literally packed up every one of my own personal possessions and packed them up and moved out of state. And I am very excited to say that Bree was my pilot. She flew from Milwaukee to Nashville, and she rented a monster-sized vehicle for us.
It was the size of a monster. I know what size monsters are, and it was monsters.
And we loaded up what possessions I felt like I really needed until the rest gets shipped here, and took the Poochie to my heart, and Ranger's here with me. And if any of you guys noticed my video last night that I posted that of on our journey here, it was all of a sudden this, hey, you know what? Let's make a video. We're almost here. It's sunset.
It was so pretty. That sunset.
It was so beautiful. It was so gorgeous. And I felt
rolling through the sky.
I was like, this is the moment. Yeah. I was like, this is the moment. I have to tell everybody that this is happening. And so I have followed my heart in a way that I've really probably, maybe not completely,
maybe not,
and really allowed
leap of faith.
Exactly.
Literal leap of faith.
I'm telling you guys, leap of faith, standing on the cliff, jump off head on and say, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to follow my heart and
bring it, universe.
And it was probably, it's weird because part of me wants to say it was one of the scariest things I've ever done because it was, but yet the calm and the ease and the knowing and the constant and with the help of my my dear beloved partner, I was able to overcome everything, and in 1 week's time made it happen, and to open myself to already moving into a relationship where I'm already whole, and yet finding that match, that one that just, I don't know, what do you call it?
Completing the circuit?
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Completing the circuit, exactly. And it was something that I could no longer ignore. And
when you get the undeniable confirmation, they are undeniable.
And I wanted to say, you guys, that when Bree and I went to Fort Lauderdale to do our first event
in August
this year, truly that was a life-altering event. And those of you who are watching, and those of you who will watch, hi everybody who was there, Zinnia, Ivan, love you guys. I can't tell you what a big part all of you have played in this too, for me, for support. And the support that I've had has been I've never, ever had this kind of support and unconditional love in my life, or I would not have been able to do this journey. And really and I said, it will be a miracle if I can do this in 1 week. And I'm telling you guys, miracles happen because here I am.
It's amazing.
I am still kind of like,
it's amazing. I saw it happen.
And she got to
It is
witness.
amazing.
And you know, what's interesting because
Anything's possible.
and everything's possible.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about this particular circumstance is because Bree got to see this entire transformation of me over. Oh my God. I was not expecting that. Well, there you have it, folks. I'm in Florida. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Oh my
Well, and then Ranger. Ranger's like,
God. There's Ranger.
Ranger.
No, I'm not blushing or anything.
No reason to blush. Come here, Ranger. Okay.
Sorry, you guys. This is as real and raw as it gets. I don't know what to tell you. This is like I'm living my dream. Bashar said, "Your life really is a dream coming. Your life is your dream coming true." And
Angela's saying, where'd he pop out of?
where did he pop up? I'm not sure.
He walked from his office. He walked from his office. Ranger, come here. Come here. Buddy.
It's okay. It's okay, buddy. Ranger's getting excited here, you guys.
Hello, wagging your tail.
Oh my gosh.
Wagging your tail.
Yeah. Oh, so there's Ranger. He's walking around. You might, I don't know if you'll see him.
Ranger.
Oh, well, there we go. Yellow, solar plexus, sun.
The sun.
The sun.
Bring in the sun.
And that's how I feel like we're here to light each other's lights and light language. Light language brought us together.
Yeah.
Literally light language. And
same with Wendy and me. Ranger, come here.
come on, sweetie.
Come here.
Okay. The light language literally brought us together. It brought Bree and I together. Dave and I met through light language and had known each other for more than a year, really. And I got to meet in person for the first time in August this year. And the interesting, amazing part of all this is that there's so many synchronicities and things that I saw, visions that I saw the moment that they walked in the door, Dave and AJ.
At our event.
At our event, it was like flashes of, and I was like, well, is this past, present, or future? And it's like, well, yeah. Well, yeah. Yes, all of the above. So, but it was interesting. It wasn't until it wasn't until probably
A few months ago.
September
Yeah.
that all of a sudden it was like, And
like the alignments.
the alignment.
When you get shown what's in alignment with your life.
Your authentic self with someone else's being their authentic self, that was something I hadn't experienced before ever.
Yeah.
Like ever. And I realized in that moment that I was ignoring something that needed to not be ignored. And it was once that happened, it was an immediate decision. It became immediately clear what needed to happen. And so there's a lot of stuff that goes into this, and obviously the details are really unimportant at this point, but it's not easy. We stay in places for a lot of reasons, and we go to places for a lot of reasons. We have to remind ourselves that just as the laws of creation, just as Bashar says, that we exist, everything is here and now, what you put out is what you get back. But we have to remember that every single thing changes in life. Every single thing changes. And if we can just go into everything knowing that it serves us when we need it to serve us, but we don't need to hold on to things as that they're permanent, because nothing in life is permanent. Nothing. I mean, physical things wear out, you know, everything. Physical things deteriorate eventually. And it's that idea that every single thing is changing and evolving, and we can't hang on to stuff. And I mean, even the physical objects, you guys, of packing up my own belongings and deciding what's important and what isn't, it became pretty clear very quickly what is important and what isn't, and what needed, you know, it's kind of interesting how we can spend decades, for some of us decades, just collecting. And for me, in my experience, what I've discovered, I love objects that make us feel good. We bring objects into our space because it makes us feel good.
Wendy. Okay. Sorry.
I like that. And sometimes I think we bring, because they make us feel good, but sometimes we hang on to stuff because it makes us feel good, because we're too, for a lot of reasons, beliefs, lazy, we don't move past those things though. We cling to stuff because we're trying to feel complete with things, with objects. And yet, you know, I was just thinking about like diamonds, for example. I mean, we were talking about diamonds today. You can buy diamonds, but you know what? If the wearer or the giver, if you're not already like in your purest state, that it doesn't really mean anything. Its significance, its permission slip is kind of lost then. And so I think we try to fill all of our lives with things as permission slips to say, well, this makes me feel good, and it helps me ignore the things that I really need. Well, I'll settle for this, or this person is almost everything, or this place is almost everything, like this job, that's almost everything I like. And we think that that's enough and that's okay. It's not. It's never, never, never okay to not, and this I've learned, thank you, Dave. It's okay to ask for everything and know it's possible and that you deserve it, because deserve just simply means it belongs to you, it's of service to you. And I know now I deserve everything that it doesn't matter. And even my own mom, hi mom, if you're watching, love you guys for your support. Even my own mom, you know, at 75 said, you know, you've given me hope. And hope, I don't like the word hope, because hope to me is a word that implies that there's doubt. Hope means doubt. Knowing means I just know. No. And so I don't use the word hope anymore, because I just find it has this connotation of I don't have what I want yet, rather than what we know to be true in physics, and is that we already have it. You just have to become the vibration of them bringing it to you, but it already exists. And that's the whole thing, is everything already exists for us. We just don't believe we can have it all. And we think that settling for not everything is okay. And well, this is what creates the shoulder surgeries, the diseases, all of it. Anytime you're in resistance to something that is true to your heart's core vibration, that's it. You just will not survive long. And your higher self will push and push and push things to remind you to do that. And then we call those things, you know, tragedies or illness, and then we ask, why would this happen to me? And why? Well, because we've allowed the frequency of doubt to deteriorate our own self-worth. And if we circle back again to light languages, all of light languages have helped me develop that idea and help and share that with other people, to give them the permission to follow your heart, just as the bracelet said, and that anything is possible. And that I could have never, it's like, it's one of those things where we kind of say, oh, I could have never imagined having all of the things I ever wanted. But yeah, you do. We all do. We all do imagine it always. We just don't believe we can have it. But we all imagine it. Every one of us. Every single one of us, when we get up in the morning and go to bed at night, are thinking about our day and the people that we've been with, wondering or telling ourselves, well, it's not everything, but that's enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. If it's not enough for you, it's not enough. It's just not. And this goes with everything. God, it's like, what are you eating? What are you drinking? What do you do? It's all of that. We do this stuff because well, it's better for me. Well, are you enjoying it? Because if you're not enjoying it, the resistance that you can eat the healthiest diet, but if it isn't going to matter if you're inauthentic. It just isn't going to matter. It won't. It just won't.
If you just put yourself in a horrible mood and you're like, God, I hate the way this tastes. This is stupid. My life sucks. Everything's terrible. And you're eating really healthy food. You think you're going to be healthy. It comes with the whole, that's holistic medicine. Holistic is the whole picture.
Thing. And this is it's funny that you said holistic. Whole, you guys. I don't care what spiritual community you're talking to. Doesn't everybody say the same thing? I want to feel whole. I want to feel complete. I want to feel
like myself. What does that mean? I think a lot of people don't know what that means. I didn't know what
does that mean? I want to be myself. Now,
I did not know what that meant.
Did I even know what myself was? Well, not until about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
For reals though, when stuff starts to fall into place, you start to realize who you really are and who you're really not. And the universe will show us that always, but we have to be sometimes willing to see it and acknowledge it.
Follow the sun inside of you. I'm sunshine. There's the sun. Over there.
Over there. In the kitchen.
In the kitchen. And there's a big sign over there, big wooden thing over there that says sun, and it's yellow.
And the beach sign behind us. So Angela had said you have to let go of the old to allow the new to come in. The stuff weighs you down eventually. For sure.
And I just wanted to say to you guys, because I feel like somebody needs to hear this. It was a 45-year relationship that was everything it needed to be when it needed to be in many ways. And yet there was still so much of me that I was denying myself. And so we tend to blame the mirror, the person on the other side. We blame the other person for letting them be the excuse for not doing what we want to do. And I realized in the last 2 weeks, I didn't even acknowledge that till probably just now to put that into words, just that. And these are pretty deep realizations. And so I want you guys to understand that every time we think that we can't, or that we are literally creating that reality. I can't, I won't, I don't deserve it. I don't have the resources. How am I going to do that? How can I leave? I don't have the money. Whatever. Even Bree coming with this, there were things that she had to deal with, and it was like, you know what? Taken care of. Not a problem, because this is abundance. We always seem to equate abundance with money and stuff. And it's got nothing to do with money and stuff. Nothing.
It's all just energy, yeah?
Nothing. And there was seriously a part of me that thought, why can't I just pack a bag and leave everything behind? Why do I feel like I even need to bring anything, like any possessions of any kind? So there was still things that I was even having belief system issues with, like, I can't start this new journey without this, even if it's just a book or, but again, it gave me the opportunity to pick and choose what I really felt was important to me and what I felt needed to be with me on the journey. Needed to be using my instincts. So again, we take ourselves for granted. We just think that it's okay to not be happy. We just think that that's okay.
To settle.
And it's not. It's just not okay.
And in the past, it served its purpose.
It did.
Everything does, but
yes,
sometimes there are expiration dates, and sometimes we let them run too long.
And you guys we can call this contracts, you can call it whatever you want.
Soul contracts.
I personally don't like that term, have never used it. It's just my own personal opinion.
But on a multidimensional level,
yes.
some people explain it like, oh, there's a soul contract for some person to be the barista in the coffee shop to give you the cup of coffee in the morning, and that's a soul contract. And then you go and you drive down the street and somebody cuts you off, and that's a soul contract. So it's like, okay, well, there are too many freaking soul contracts here to think about right now. But so, I mean, that's what multidimensionality does, right?
Because really, you guys, seriously, we could look at every single thing. You're right. We can look at every single contract we have in our lives as a soul contract, right? But we seem to look at the soul contracts as the long term, like, oh, and then what's even worse is we say, well, I have this soul contract, so I can't leave. I can't change this because it's a contract. It's something I think it's like I have to fulfill, and I have to die being unhappy because it's a contract.
But we have free will. So we can change anything.
So what's going on out here in YouTube land? I wanted to say hi to everybody. Oh, Solar, hey. Hey, Angela. Oh, hey, Jake. Just wanted to say hi to everybody. So, who's with us today?
Yeah. Well, so in the room, we have Sean and Dave, who's also here. Hi, Dave.
You don't have to be over there.
And Stefan and Ivy.
Hi, guys.
So hello. Thank you for being with us.
Sorry, I'm kind of a mess. We've been running around today.
And Sean said in the...
Hi.
I'm muting you because that is tripping me out. Thanks, Dave.
He did it on purpose.
Thanks, Dave. I know.
He wanted to echo.
It echoed. So Sean said, to discover oneself, you can look inside yourself and find what does not serve a person. It's only when a person rids themselves of what does not serve them can they begin to find out what serves out.
Or maybe
serves us, and find out who we are. And this is very true.
Yeah, sorry about the misspelling.
Oh, what'd you say, Sean?
Yeah, what'd you say?
Hi all, first of all. Love you all. And sorry about the spelling. Yeah, it's to discover oneself, you can look inside yourself and find what does not serve yourself. It's only when a person rids themselves of what does not serve them can they only begin to find out what serves out them and find out who they are.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
That's just my opinion.
I agree, for sure, because sometimes we need to be shown who we are. And we have those experiences to show us what we prefer and what we don't. And that's okay. It's a part of life. And we can love it and embrace it, or we can say, this is a bunch of... That's okay too, but,
Well, it's when you discover, this is a bunch of blah, 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 that like you found out something about yourself, haven't you? You found out that, okay, well, this may trigger me. What can I now do to not make it so triggering? Or what actions can I take now to, not have that such visceral reaction?
Thank you, Sean. I'm so glad you're here today. Thank you. This is a big deal for me that you're here today. A really, really, really big deal.
It's awesome. And guess who just joined?
Alicia! Surprise, Alicia!
Alicia's
Surprise!
in the house. Hey, girl. What's up?
Anybody want to say hi? Just, raise your hand or unmute.
Yeah.
We're kind of fluid and dynamic here today because I'm kind of low on energy.
I'm
high on energy, but low on energy.
We've been flying around the whole country. while driving.
Why am I hearing so many voices?
Hey.
I don't know. I keep hearing so many voices.
Oh, that's why we gotta do we have
no. What do you mean you're hearing so many voices in your head? Muted.
I thought she meant like it was running in the background. And
it was. But I figured it out. Okay, I apologize.
Okay, you figured it out.
I knew I could hear us talking in the background.
I was like, oh my God, you guys are everywhere.
Oh my God. Well,
yes, we are.
We are. But for reals, this is a different.
Yes, we are.
This is a different setup than usual, obviously. So, like, if there are audio problems, please tell us so I can fix it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Daniel. What? Hang on, I'm gonna stand up for just a second. Keep talking, you guys. I just gotta grab something.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Hey, look, it's an Alicia.
It is. It's crazy.
Hey, you.
Yeah. Hey, it's been such a long time.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time.
I don't even have decent eyebrows, to be honest.
Your eyebrows look great.
I had to make sure I brought them. Ranger, please. Buddy.
Ranger, come here.
Hey.
So are you guys doing it from Wendy's house?
Sorry, guys.
Or what's going on? Like, where are you?
We are in Florida. I just moved Wendy to Florida. We drove from Tennessee.
Look at her face.
We drove from Tennessee to Florida, 2 days ago? Not yesterday. The other
we left Sunday and we arrived Sunday. Monday.
Monday night.
Ranger.
Stop, come here. You can't sit like that.
Do not encourage him, Dave.
No, you can't sit.
Okay.
So
let me just understand this. Let me just process this. So
I told her, I said, Alicia's going to need to process this.
Okay, so you're not visiting, you moved.
Yeah, all of her stuff is here and going to be shipped.
My belongings are, some of my belongings are here now and the rest are being shipped here.
Yep.
My mind is just blown now.
And I knew that.
And Dave, who was in his office, is now laying here on the floor.
This is
his house.
This is Dave's house.
Your house.
My house.
Your house.
My new home.
Okay.
With a brand new relationship.
That's where that rose came from. Wendy did not grow.
So you'll have to watch. You'll have to rewind and watch the beginning that you missed.
Yeah, she talks about it
just a little, but yeah.
So, missed the kiss.
You missed
I am very rarely speechless, as you know.
It was special.
I have nothing. I got nothing. So
and I was surprised. I mean, I was shocked. I had no idea that was happening.
Oh, you mean you didn't you weren't sensing in?
No, well, because while you guys have been having your amazing lives, I've been on the business end of things, like preparing. No, it's true. Amazing. I've been preparing for the 3D like Black Friday, Small Business Saturday.
Yes, because she.
And so like my brain has been turned off from all this stuff, and so this is just like a waterfall of like.
Well, and you guys, I just wanted to say too, while you're here, Alicia, everybody on December 13th, Alicia is going to be on my Awake TV show. So I'm going to be, so Alicia's going to be on. She's going to be telling us all about her stuff and her historical apothecary, whatever else she wants to talk about, and light languages.
So you can go to languagesoflights.com and find out how to watch the weekly shows on Awake TV Network. Check it out.
And Temple Beautiful, Your Temple Beautiful, LBCC Historical. Put all your links there, Alicia, in the comments. So you guys can see what she's up to. If you're not familiar with Alicia, we've been friends a long time. And Bree and Alicia got to meet. Mm-hmm. And so that was really, really, really cool. So I'm so happy you guys get to meet.
Yes.
And so it was very, very exciting. And so so tell everybody what, be able to tell your stuff and your story. And I'm really, really excited.
There's a live chat feature on the network too. So actually people can type in comments and
if you guys aren't familiar too, or if you're not on the Wake TV, I have my own promo code. You can go to my website to find a promo code for the Awake TV. For those who want to subscribe, you get for the first 25 people, you get 50% off your first month.
Yes.
Of subscription. And so it's only like what, $9.99 a month or something anyway.
Full price is $9.99.
I'm telling you guys, for the amount of teachers and the information, my God, for $9 a month.
It's
are you kidding me?
It's like live streaming Gaia TV.
It is. It's like live streaming private session after private session after private session.
Pretty much,
I mean, if you guys can imagine spending $10 a month and getting all of this plethora of information from all these how many teachers and Bree
70
and for the 70 teachers, and is that who's on staff right now?
Huh?
Is that 70?
I think it's around 70.
And then Bree, for all of you guys who don't know, Awake TV Bree, Awake TV Bree, she's now the support
technical coordinator
for Awake TV, supporting all of us as the teachers.
Yep, it's fun.
And interns, really fun. And so she's been, and you know, it's pretty crazy because Bree, I also wanted to say, because I can say it out loud because she already posted it. But don't you think it's a little synchronistic that you and I would both fall in love at the same time?
Wendy. Look at this lady. Look at this lady. Okay.
So you got to say.
I don't have to say anything.
You need to say a hi. Okay.
I don't have to say anything.
Well, we'll just give a shout out.
But yes, It is happening. She is not lying. She does not lie.
So, but you already posted it on Facebook, so it's not a secret,
it's a
you
public
guys.
thing.
It's a public thing.
It's super weird to be in a relationship with somebody who's conscious of themselves and, you know, and interested in things and not.
So I find it very. I think
what is
we
that?
find it very synchronistic that here we are in this vibration
at the same time,
highest conditional love, and then you meet somebody who you too.
Yeah.
Not settling for less than everything she wants right now. Now, remember, guys, that changes.
It does.
Yes, it does change. So we have to be willing to be open to that change as well. So we have got to stop throwing expectations and limitations and time limits on stuff. And I realize in our culture, when we enter into a relationship, it's till death do you part. Well, how do we know that? How do we know that? How can you possibly know that? So all we can do is love and live as fully and as we possibly can. And that little cosmic little kitty, if I heard anything, I heard that louder than anything. Live your life to the fullest and be as happiest as you possibly can every minute. And if you're not, you need to stop. You need to ask yourself, what excuses are you giving yourself to tell yourself you can't have that? And again, to have this little tiny soul come into my life for such a short time, as I mentioned last week, to completely change my perspective on everything and to take a leap of faith. And I will say to you guys, with Dave's help and Bree's, that it was everything. How do I say it? It flowed and processed exactly the way I would always have dreamt and hoped a situation like that could, with complete and utter unconditional love, support, even between me and my previous partner, to go into this and say, when you really on a higher level, when you really do, when we love people, we need to understand that we have to allow each other to be happy no matter what that is. And I think that we all understand that, even if those who have children, and that you just want your kids to be happy no matter what. It doesn't matter what they're doing as long as they're happy. And we all want that. We all want that. And the biggest message was about that, about we all want to feel complete. We all want to just be happy. And we deny ourselves of that for a variety of reasons. Is there any questions or comments or anything at this point? I did want to show everybody something too, because it's so much fun, but
you are so awesome. Thank you, Alicia. You are
guys
awesome too.
You are too, woman. I'm really happy that you're here today too, Alicia, because we were just talking about you, and I said I really wanted to talk to Alicia, and I haven't had a chance. So I'm really happy that you're here. And,
me too.
And thank you, Sean. It means a lot that you're here too. Thank you.
We all met in Minnesota and had dinner. Like my husband, myself, and then our 2 rent-a-kids girls. The girls came along, and we all had dinner with the twin and his family. And so, I mean, that's really an amazing thing when you think about it, right? Like,
wow.
See? Yeah. This is the kind of stuff we need to be open, and the other thing I'll say about open is that was kind of like the, if you want to say agreement, if you want to call it that, and it was, okay, maybe agreement's not a good word, promise, that no matter what, share everything and be completely and open and honest about absolutely everything. Because anything less than that is not enough, and it's not everything. It just isn't. It just, if you feel the need to hide any part of you to the person you're with, think about what you're doing and who you're with and why do you think you need to hide. I've been hiding for 58 years, you guys. I'm tired of hiding, and hiding me is what I'm saying. It's got nothing to do with another person.
The real you. Not the mask.
And you know what makes
the mask and the hat.
And you know what? Sometimes
the cape.
It makes it really hard, you guys, too, when we don't want to upset other people's worlds or hurt other people, but yet we're hurting both of ourselves by staying in an inauthentic relationship. And what we don't understand is maybe there is genuine relief on the other end, that maybe they understood it too and are just as relieved that maybe they didn't know how to say it and couldn't say it. And so there's all of those things that we need to.
That goes for all types of relationships.
Exactly.
This is not just romantic.
Everything, business. I mean, everything. It goes for everything. And it just, and so all of the fears that I had about what I could have imagined that would look like, making that transition, not one of those fears materialized, because with the help of Dave, it was focusing on how do you want it? How do you want it? How do you want it? How do you want it to be?
Good for everyone.
Good for everyone. What is the highest good for all concerned? And that's all I kept saying. I didn't put a limit on, I want it to be this way or this way. I said, I want it to be the highest good for all concerned. And that was inspired by him too. So focus, and in the direst moments, it was every time I went back to that focus, I got me right back in the center and realized, follow your heart, follow your heart, follow your heart, follow your heart. Don't let the voices of inauthentic that we talked about a few weeks ago. Remember the voice of inauthenticity, that inauthentic self talking. Don't let that voice take over. Because let me tell you, it tried several times. Because how is so hard to walk away or move away from anything, a relationship, a job, anything, where they're good. They're good persons. They're a good place. It's like, oh, I love the place. I love the people that I work with. I love my job, but I'm not happy. I'm not fulfilled. I'm not passionate. That's what we need. If you don't have that and you want that, then you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this then? Why do I continue? And trust me, I did it for, 40 years. I did jobs that they were great and I excelled at them, but did they make me happy? No. Did they fulfill me? No. Did they create disease in my life? Oh, you bet. Oh, you bet.
I know how that goes.
Oh, you bet.
Jobs, relationships, belief systems.
Well, I have to remember. You remember when you were at my house years ago when we first met, and you were working at a place, and we did a video, and you guys, I don't know if
Are you talking about what I?
Yes, and I was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. In a few months, you're not even gonna care about these people. She was mortified.
I was wearing a shirt from the company I was working at,
and we were speaking light languages, and she thought, you know what? We didn't realize till after the whole video was over, and I didn't post it publicly. but it was uploaded. She says, Wendy, we can't put that video on because I'm wearing my company logo shirt and I don't want them to see, it might cause problem. And I was like, well, I don't think it's going to matter. Who's going to watch it anyway? Because they're probably not in that vibration, first of all, which they wouldn't have. I'm sure nobody in that place watched it, which, you know, and so, but this was her becoming authentic with me, through me as her mirror. And so I was like, who cares? And how long did you end up having that job? Like, I mean, after we talked, a couple more months. I mean, like after that, it was like maybe
not
a few
even
more.
probably.
And so it was like, so we realize now that angst and that what you were feeling then, it was like, don't we realize now how completely, and I don't want to say irrelevant because that's not what I'm saying here. It's never irrelevant. What I'm saying is it's a belief. It's just a belief. Now, of course, we on YouTube have to be careful about those things, about posting, you know what I mean, logos and things like that, and our jobs, and just in case, because, you know, there's reasons why that may be appropriate to not do that. And I think even in commercials, right? Don't they have to gray it out, a logo, if they're whatever. So it's just an example is all I'm saying. So, but at the end of the day, it was more about her fear and our fears of being authentic and somebody seeing us being authentic, and worried about I might get fired or I might be reflecting on this job.
When it was like, we were talking about beautiful things.
And it was a
conversation.
It was such a good video.
And, you know, in the middle.
If I still have it, is it okay to post it now? Well, we'll look at it because it might be too water under the bridge by now. But
yeah.
But it was just an example, you guys, of you know, of it was more about worrying about being authentic than anything else, and worrying about what is our job, what is our mate, what is our partner going to think, what is our boss, and, you know, I found myself also in the last few months being very, very open about what I do, and like with light languages, and actually handing out my business cards like all over the place, where I never thought I would have, like in pizza places, and you know what I mean? It's just, that's how we generate when you walk in authenticity, you really do receive people who also want that. They go, I want that. How do I get that? How do I do that? And I want to know, how did you do that? And we give each other permission to be authentic when we do that. And I wanted to say, so is there any, first of all, before I show this, is there any comments or questions or anything right now?
Yeah, there's some cool stuff. So in the room here, Sean said, you are the most important person in your universe. You can, Sean, there's some missing words. Would you?
Yes.
Sean.
Yeah, you're the most important person in your universe. You are a powerful creator being. So, you know, there's no reason to self-doubt yourself. And also, just on the current topic of conversation, those that say it cannot be done should get out of the way of the people doing it. You know, have no doubt, you guys are powerful, you guys are strong. You are wicked creator beings. Like, you can do anything that you put your minds to.
Yes, Sean, I absolutely love it. I love it.
Yes.
You hit the nail on the head.
I need to get out of the way.
And if you guys think that that I have not been met with adversity these last few weeks, yeah, I have.
There's adversity.
And I want to say, and maybe the easiest way to say this is, if following my true heart and bliss and passion, if that makes me what some people would call crazy, or I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Irresponsible. It's because anybody who thinks that or says that, it's because the mirror is reflecting back to them that they are not doing that, period. And we can't pick that up. We can't, because it doesn't belong to us. Because so someone else's diminishment, or like Sean just said, if you're going to tell me I can't do it, well, you just get out of my way. And so that's what this is about. It's people seem to think that those who follow their hearts on the spur of the moment and just do what their hearts guide them to do are somehow frivolous, irresponsible, thoughtless, and it's anything but. It is, who else is going to serve you but you? Who?
Some of the most successful people, inventors, you know, like CEOs and all, those are the ones that they've been told that, no, it cannot be done. You're going to utterly fail, you know, like you're just not intelligent for doing it. Well, they just didn't go, okay, since you're telling me that, no, they actually were like, no, I believe in myself. I'm actually going to prove it. I'm actually going to do it. And they became so successful and wise and intelligent because they didn't listen to the people around them telling them that, oh, no, you can't do it.
Exactly. What was I was just thinking about? Somebody said they wrote a book, or it was one of the most famous novels. I forget what it is now. And they said, like, I forget how many publishers turned them down, and then it became, you know, one of these, you know, epic, you know, novels and into movies and all that. So it's very interesting that those who know and follow their passion, no matter what, and keep going are, as you said, Sean, those are the ones that always are the ones who say the same, have the same, very similar story, very similar. Hi, Dolores. Hi, Parky. How you guys doing? Hi, darling. Did you get to hear the beginning, Dolores? No, because she was busy.
Please repeat the question. I didn't hear. I didn't understand. Did I what?
Did you get, I know you came in late. Did you get to, do you know where I am?
I believe that I answered you and that I told you that
I want to make sure that, okay,
I'm watching you traveling to your new order.
Yeah. I did. I saw your video. I just didn't know if you knew what was on the other end.
What do you think? That I couldn't know, that I wouldn't know, that what? I know.
She says, I know.
I know. Yeah, you know, Dolores.
And I don't think that you can believe it, but I'm so excited and overwhelmed with what you two, especially you now, Wendy, made. And what
you, Dolores, I told you last week, or in the last webinar, I told you you were a big part of this for me about being inspirational. And thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything that you did for me, because you were a big help for me. And just talking to you was huge for me.
I'm very. It's not r, but r. very proud and love you, both of you, and wow.
And wow, I know, I'm still, believe me, I'm still wow.
Yes.
Thanks, Dolores.
Thank you. Dave says thank you, Dolores.
Dave says thank you. You're so sweet. It's nice to have all you here.
You can be on camera, you know.
I just finished my.
Or on your phone, on your computer. If you want to sit down, sit down.
Yeah, come on over.
Thank you, Bree.
Come join the party. So
now you have, wow.
Yeah.
The best connection, net connection ever.
Yeah, right?
Yes, it is the best connection ever.
Best connection ever. Now that the Wi-Fi is working, I'm happy about the connection. So, all right. So you wanted to share.
And I want to say, so thank you, Dolores. I just want to say hi. I want to say hi to everybody. Thank you, Ivy, too. I want to thank you again for my most precious gift in Cosmo and what he gave me. So yeah. How could I ever begin to repay you?
It's a huge change. Catalysts come in all forms. But you know, earlier you were talking about sometimes changes take years or decades. And you made the point also that during that time, we're collecting things that we'll need for that time, that transition, that whole time, you know, or also following breadcrumbs till the way is clear. You know, we know we're going to go here, but we don't really see how to get there from here. So here's a synchronicity. There's another synchronicity, like little breadcrumbs from God or wherever, you know, and you follow them. And before you know it, it's led you somewhere. So I think that you've mastered that approach to reality.
I think so.
At this point.
I'd say so. Yeah.
The master class.
Yeah. I'd say
Master class of manifestation and light language.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ivy. Just, I mean, for everything.
Everything.
You're a big part of this. You know.
I mean, I mean, seriously, you and I've already
you know,
talked.
Yeah, I had a catalyst that led me, that gave me a trail of breadcrumbs that led me to you. You know.
Exactly.
It was a case of the worst thing turning into something a lot higher. And I think also that my catalyst was a soul contract, you know, and that was one of the first things that I learned about it, because before the event, you know, I was waking up hearing myself going, no, I knew it was coming. We had agreed to it, and we'd already had the warning shot. And it was after the warning shot where I would wake up going, no. And then after it happened, I started waking up hearing my guides nudging me, teaching me, telling me, you know, in indescribable sounds, what I was supposed to do, where I was supposed to go, who I was supposed to connect with next. And yeah, it's been amazing. There's all of you and all over the world and other people that, yeah, I'm still just in awe and going, oh my God, is this real? Is it really real?
I'm still saying the same thing. So.
Yeah.
Is this real? I say that to them all the time. Are you real?
We create our own reality, and I created this. You know, holy shit. Okay, well, let me make sure to not create negative things, because I've created those too.
Well, we do to show us what we prefer, right? As we were just talking about. So moving past, because the one thing that irks me that we do is judging ourselves for what we've created. It's one thing to see it and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But to judge ourselves, it's not helping. So please don't judge yourself.
That's the origin programming that comes in and judges, and that's what we're trying to strip ourselves of, is that that programming. And it's so hard to strip ourselves of all the unnecessary programming and still function here.
Yeah,
that's
we're doing it. We're doing it little by little, and like we talk about, light language helps us a lot with that. Look, we're being painted by Dolores. She's painting us. She's painting.
I love that.
She's creating her reality.
Oh, and Dolores. So you guys, just so you know too, if you didn't hear last week, Dolores is gonna be on Awake TV with me on Friday, the day after my birthday.
This week at 3 p.m. Eastern time, which is the new time zone.
Oh yeah,
by the way,
we changed the time zone.
Announcement, now it's Eastern time. So we're doing these Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Sorry.
Yes, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Eastern time.
And the only reason we changed it to 2 instead of 2:11 is because YouTube changed it, so I can't use the little, I can't put my own numbers in, so it was either 2:10 or 2, so we decided 2. So if
but it's okay.
And we may just, we'll see.
Minus 11.
We'll see how we do.
You couldn't do 2:22.
At Friday, it will be the same time for Awake TV Network as it was last week.
Right. So Friday is on Awake TV Network. It will be 3 p.m. Eastern time. So it's still 2 p.m. Central time.
9 p.m. at my time.
It's her time. Yeah, she's in Croatia.
I have to ask you something. Will you let little bit? Will you be here a little bit after live?
Yes.
Because I have to ask you something about Friday.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Sounds good.
And that's another thing, you guys, if you're new, to the channel. I want to say hi to some people out there new in YouTube out there. If you guys want to join the room, we never did even actually tell everybody how to join the room, so you can join the room.
I can post the blog link. So if you guys want to join with us today, you can follow this website I'm pasting into the YouTube live chat. And then you will be able to come and hang out with us in the Zoom room. If you want your camera on, that's okay. If you don't, that's okay too. You don't even have to talk.
I want to share something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know why. I really don't know why. But when I was watching both of you driving to your new order, I was literally cried my I was crying and I was so overwhelmed. I'm not aware why, because of what, I don't know, but I was crying and at the same time that so good feeling rised from my heart. So something, wow, something good is happening. Something good is happening. I don't have any explanation. But in my heart, I felt, and I'm still feeling, that something very, very good is happening.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yes, and wow.
Wow, I know.
I'm still saying wow.
That's why I made a Wendy delivery.
Yes, she did.
A Wendy delivery all the way to Florida.
She delivered me right to my door.
I didn't even count how many hours it took us to drive. We
didn't pay attention.
But it took 2 days straight.
But we were fine. It was and it was such a perfect drive.
It was magical.
Everything
always
was perfect.
Traveling with Wendy, eating breakfast with Wendy, drinking coffee with Wendy, talking with Wendy. It's all magical. It always is.
You know what? I know that you are still here on Earth, that you are only
not really.
that you are only on another place on Earth, but it feels, wow, it feels like literally you are on another planet, or I don't know, literally.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because this is Wendy's now in a space where she can feel comfortable.
Free zone.
Yeah.
Free zone, yes.
Where she can be.
I'm so happy for you. You cannot imagine. You cannot feel my happiness, really.
Well, that's why I knew I needed to do a Wendy delivery, because I feel how important this is for everything, not just for Wendy, not just for Dave, not just for Ranger, not just for like all, it's like the bigger picture. I feel it. It's
a state of being. It's a frequency. And I'm glad that you said that, Dolores, because you have actually substantiated what we believe to be, is setting the example for that vibration and helping other people meet that vibration.
Thank you, Bree.
Thank you, Bree.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dolores. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you very much. Yes.
You guys, this could not have been all of you, Bree, all of you, Dave. This is the best birthday gift ever. And to have it fall on Thanksgiving Day here in America, as we give thanks, could not be a better day for me. So.
But tomorrow is the day of your birthday, okay?
Yes, it is. And
anyway, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Wendy! Aw, how sweet. That's very sweet.
I got all I need.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So let's see.
It's awesome.
Okay.
You know what? You're not closer to me.
This is true.
2
hours. You move closer to Dolores on the Earth plane.
I'm on Earth now. I'm a couple hours closer to Croatia.
So much closer to Europe now. So much.
I brought her back to Earth, and she's kind of here a little bit.
She's kind of here
a little bit. Hey, Alicia, just wanted to give you a heads up because you're in the room here. If you're still listening, we got questions about the Ankh the Ankh codes and the ancient pillars. Weren't you calling them the Dijad?
I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced. That's funny because I was just this is synchronistic. I was just looking back at my journals last night or the night before, and I was reading all of that came through, and how you need the Ankh, and you need the codes for it, you need the pillars, and you also need there's one more thing. It's like Hathor usually has it. It's like a scepter thing with the little cross hatch thing on top. And those three, together with the proper codes or the proper language, allow you to open up a portal anywhere. And so you can actually use those as traveling small stargates.
So that's when in the Hucolo webinar, when information was being channeled about the Ankh being a piece of technology that was also used for teleportation, that's what you're referring to, these things being used in conjunction.
Right. But it won't work by itself. Like, yeah, well, I suppose, you know what? No, this is what they just said. If you want to see it through your third eye, the Ankh would work for that by itself. You could travel third eye wise, but if you actually want to get up and go and travel through like a Stargate, you need the rest.
Got it. So I think this might be the same person who was asking about it before. You remember a long time ago, you were in our chat, and there was somebody in there who was chatting with you about that in the YouTube live chat, Alicia?
I don't remember that. I'm sorry.
Well, I think this is the same person, Dorvin.
Yes.
So if you want to hop in there and maybe respond to what Dorvin's writing, there's interesting.
Hi, Dorvin, by the way, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Are you talking about in the YouTube chat?
Yeah, in the YouTube live chat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take a look.
Thanks. Okay, so you wanted to go over
I wanted to show you guys.
Daniel.
I just wanted to show you guys.
He
Daniel
had commented earlier. Do you want me to read his comment?
Yeah, and I think no, I don't know if he's referring to this one, because this was one I received you guys before that.
Well, he said, do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
He
please.
said earlier today, he said, when I broke my contracts, I'm thinking he's meaning soul contracts, verbally and in writing, I was definitely recognized by the Archon's minions as they had and are still having a tantrum about ushering in the golden age of Aquarius. So that's interesting because there's a lot that could be said about the Archons, but ultimately these are all manifestations of the things we're overcoming, together as a collective society. But you also prompted Wendy to share. So Daniel had shared with us.
And Daniel, is he out there? Daniel?
Hold on, let me check.
You still out there, Daniel?
Let me look. I can do this. I'm not seeing him.
Okay.
But maybe he'll watch later.
Maybe he'll watch later. He usually does. Daniel Pollock, who has been watching my channel for quite a while, and he's usually here in the YouTube live chat with us. He had sent me some of his artwork. And so Daniel, when you watch this, if you would please put your links to your DeviantArt page and stuff. And so this is one of the things that I really love about doing what I do, because I get these wonderful gifts from all of you. And the thing that is so overwhelmingly emotionally, is that you guys do this just because you're thanking me for doing what I do. And so it's kind of humbling, really. And so I wanted to show you, first of all, this one. And Ivy, this is really weird. And I don't know, the funny thing is when I first got Kaz, I don't know when Daniel actually made this, but this is a cat. Oops. So I thought that was, I'm suspecting that it was because of Kaz, if I'm not mistaken. And so I thought that was actually pretty interesting, pretty synchronistic and pretty magical that now I have the story, kind of a backstory to kind of go along with this as well. So thank you, Daniel. I just wanted to thank you for these. This is pretty amazing. And for the beautiful card as well. And everything else that you sent. And this is flowers.
Very pretty.
Nice job, Dana. You really do. I'm trying to make sure I get it up close. And I can probably take pictures of these also, so you guys can see them closer, and I can post them on my website too. So I want you guys to see that too. So that's also another huge synchronicity, Daniel, about me and flowers and a song. And I've always loved flowers. And as you know, watching my channel, light languages, flowers have been a very important part of my whole light language journey, and the connection for me with the frequency, the vibration, the colors, the smells with light languages, and the channeling that I've received through them, and the plant collective, and the information I still receive from plants and flowers, and how I've also, and it's something I don't really bring up very often, but how I've also had the opportunity through flowers to connect with hybrid children on other planets, and because because they actually vibrate in these frequencies, and allows the children to actually connect with us through the colors and the sounds and the vibration and the frequency of the colors. And a lot of the hybrid children, with our help, choose flower names to help us connect to particular vibrations. So we choose the names together to help crystallize, I guess that's the word I was looking for, crystallize that vibration. So I just absolutely love your artwork, Daniel. Thank you. I'm going to frame these. I don't want to get them dirty with my fingers. And the last one is amazing, you guys. Oh, geez, you know, it is a wolf pack. It is a wolf howling at the moon, of which I'm sure you guys have seen me do a bunch of times.
She does.
I do it. I actually do it. And a few things, like even the light language event that we went to, the retreat we did in Arkansas, where Bree started speaking light languages. I was howling to the full moon that night. And so me being Wendy Wolf, yeah. So, yeah. And so I actually do it all the time. I really, really do howl to the moon. And you know, it's as funny as it sounds, you guys, it's part of our throat chakra activation when we do things like that, you know, and when we are authentic and allow ourselves to be able to do that. So I'll take better photos of these and post them. And if they're, Daniel, if these are on your site and you'd like to the link to them so people can look at them on your DeviantArt site, that would be even better. Then they can see it up close and see some of your other things as well. So I really wanted to share this with everyone since I didn't get a chance to last week. And so I wanted to make sure that I brought them with me so that I could do this today to show all of you. So thank you, Daniel. It's really an honor and a privilege truly to experience this with all of you guys. It's pretty great. And sometimes I really don't know how to act, you know, when I get this stuff because it's so beautifully overwhelming, you know. So
Daniel is watching.
Are you? Hi, Daniel. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for the beautiful card as well. Thank you. It was really great.
Wow.
You guys make me all emotional and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel said,
thank you, Daniel.
Thanks, Daniel. He just said, Bree, you handled your Lyme attack with grace. I would still be angry at them. Thank you, Wendy, for everything. Thank you always. Oh. Thank you.
You guys are amazing. You really are amazing.
Thanks, Daniel. And about the handling the Lyme attack, I mean, looking at things from multidimensional perspectives and everything, I do understand that on a quantum level, we manifest these things for ourselves to get ourselves out of the dis-ease we're creating. And it's an option, and it's not that everybody has that path, but it's an opportunity, you know. Hardships and illnesses and breakups and endings are opportunities for us to create that change and go with it. And so it's very easy for me to go into all of the details and to do all of the research and to look and point the finger and look at this scientist who created this horrible thing and look at this. But ultimately, I do get that, like, we're all co-creating this big play, this big story, and that those are some of the details of the story. And so, yeah, I'm pissed off that Lyme disease was created in the laboratory, but we have all created all sorts of things that are not so nice, but we are now all able to come together and heal ourselves and heal each other. And we have to not focus so much on those details and the pointing fingers. And it's not easy for me. Sometimes it's really not. But
no,
that's
it
okay.
isn't. It isn't. I mean, because we've been there, you know, Bree and I, when we first met, there's so many things she was so angry that were happening, that she wanted, like, felt almost a personal responsibility to fix. This is what this, and don't we all, as light workers, don't we all feel that personal responsibility to fix the wrongs in the world, and that by doing all the rights that we think are right, it fixes all the wrongs?
Yeah.
And when we say fixes, it really just means moving to that vibration of what we really want.
And in terms of trying to fix all of, you know, if you think that you have to put the weight of the world on your shoulders, let me tell you, you don't need to.
It'll crush you.
It will crush you. And you take on what you can take on when you can take it on. And it's,
so how do you,
it's all going to work out.
Let me ask you this, because I think this is a really important topic. How do you, from your perspective, when you're so angry about something that's going on in the world, and yet then when we're angry about it and we stay in that vibration, and our universe continues to give us samples of why it substantiates that reality, how do you move through the anger of what goes on in the world and the horrific things that go on? How do you move through that and focus on the things you do want in the world to create the things you do want? And your perspective, not mine. How did you deal with that? Because we know a lot of people who are like that. We're so angry about what's going on in the world, but we feel so out of control because there's nothing we can do to change it. Isn't that how we feel? Why we get angry? Because we feel helpless?
I'll be honest with you. I have a very difficult time answering this question right now because I am still figuring out what that process of mine is, because it's been still a little bit too recent in what I had recently experienced. And then you cannot completely detach yourself at the same time, because if you say, oh, it's all an illusion anyway, it's all a hologram, none of it matters, people's suffering doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, that doesn't matter, your own suffering doesn't matter, it's, you know, just a dream, so who gives a shit? That's not helping either. No. Because then we're disconnected from this.
Exactly.
And we're not feeling, and we're not experiencing. We're saying, I'm watching this over here, and I'm just gonna watch it and say that I am not connected to any of it, when in reality it is us.
And it is connected, but how do you move through that? How do you move through the anger and focus on that and knowing that it's going to exist? It's going to exist, whether you focus on it or not.
Recently, I kind of just had to go to that, that mantra, let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God.
I grew up with that, you guys, and with...
That's new to me, because I never was around
that. Let go and let God is one of the oldest sayings in the 12-step program. Anybody who's familiar with any of the 12-step programs, that is one of the sayings, let go and let God. And yet, isn't it funny how even those channelers who are not what we would call, religious, if you will, or spiritual, say the same thing. You've got to let go. And and
because it's the unhealthy attachment. It's one thing to do. It's one thing to learn about the world and what's happening in the world and what's really happening. I'm not saying like what we've been taught. I'm not saying what's in your textbooks of history. I'm not saying what you're seeing on the news. I mean, like what's really going on, we can learn about it. But when you start to become unbalanced in the learning of it, and maybe to the point of obsession, or like you become overly emotionally invested and attached in things that are perhaps outside your control, you're setting yourself up for a bad time. And Stefan just raised his hand. So what's up?
I wanted to say something about what you were saying, that I agreed partially that we can't just close our eyes and say everything is an illusion, but it is important also to have detachment from suffering, from others people's suffering and from our suffering, because I think that suffering is simply the quality of our thoughts, as I heard Steve Vai saying this in an interview some day ago, that everything is just a projection of how we think, and if something makes us angry, is simply because of the quality of our thoughts, and in anger there is love to extract. We can, we need to experience that only to extract the good from all these experiences, and so we can't close. For this reason, I decided, for example, to be vegan, because I don't want to create suffering, and I don't say life is an illusion, but at the same time, I can't just simply cry every day or be angry because all the people don't care and don't take responsibility of the world in which we live. I do what I can, I do the best, but even Jesus, he was put on a cross, but he followed his destiny, and everyone has a path to go, and in the end, suffering will stay just, will pass with our mortal body, and it will stay just light. And so thank you for everything.
I agree with you. I do.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to hear you, and it's nice for you to share. Thank you for joining us again and sharing and talking. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we can observe, but we don't have to take it on and wear that weight on ourselves. And I was doing it for a little while, and it really, really brought me down bad. So Dolores, I see your hand raised. What's up?
I want to say something very similar what Stefan just said, yes. I was going through very challenged days, last few days. But through my experience, I could say that you don't need to go through suffering, through anger. It's not need to go through it. Why? Suffering does exist. Pain does exist. Sorrow does exist. Love does exist. Smile does exist. Everything exists, is existing. Yes, it is. That's what our eyes see. That's what our senses experience. That's what we believe that we are experiencing through our senses. Is not the reality itself, but when you see or experience the world through your mind, you cannot feel or experience what reality really is. To come back to anger or to sorrow or pain, what I was going through last few days. When you are attached, as Stefan said, or when you believe that you are your mind, your body, you cannot be aware of true reality. If you develop awareness that you can, in which you can perceive the whatever is, or you believe it's reality, from the place of witnessing, only from the place of perceiving, you can see every pain, every joy, every sorrow, every anger, every anxiety, every fear, just as a thought, without energy in it. And it is really liberation. That's my experience. I cannot say that people is hungry, that man or that woman is hungry, that child are naked because doesn't have money to buy clothes. Yes, that is the true, but the way how we perceive that what our eyes see is the solution, because everything that your senses experience is you. You are everything your senses experience. You are everything your mind is thinking of or about. Right to say not you are not, but you are in everything. But you are not that what your eyes see, your senses experience. You are in everything. Only the place from which you are observing that all is responsible how you will experience it. And I believe that awareness is ultimate goal, and only when we should become, or when we will become aware of who we really are, we will not have to experience what we believe it's true through our eyes. If I could say that in my English, in my creation language, it will sound much better than in English. But I hope that I did, or I didn't. I don't know. Explain what I want to say. Suffering doesn't exist and exists, yes. Everything doesn't exist and exists, yes. You have free opportunity or freedom to choose how you will perceive yourself and everything you believe that isn't yourself. I was watching you both of you was traveling yesterday, and I was crying, of course. At the same time, I was happy, of course. My person was happy. At the same time, I felt some kind of uplifting something. I don't know how to explain it. But at the same time, like I was a little bit detached of what I'm perceiving. I'm very happy for you. Yes, I am. But at the same time, I'm in peace. I don't know how to explain better in English, but suffering is only one way through which we can experience what reality is. It's not the necessary only way.
That's a good point. That's a very good point, Dolores.
Yes, it's not necessarily the only way. You can choose to experience everything what your senses can reach in another way. But we are told that we have that believings in our mind that things should be made in such a way, and the result of that almost is always suffering because we are told them, but that is not true. Yes, love is the solution for everything. Love yourself, but I don't believe that people really know what it means to love itself, to love yourself, to love yourself. It means that you have reached what is divine in you. What is really that? What is that divine in you? And when you can reach that divine in you, you can open your eyes and see really what the reality is. You are divine. We all are divine. Divine is only the only thing that exists. That is illusion, but it isn't illusion. That is so strong physical confirmation of only one expression of divine. Love you all.
I love you. You actually really do explain things very, very well. Even though you don't think you do, you do. And we really appreciate that. And I see, when I see you talking, I see you, it's like I see myself. I mean, you're literally channeling the information, you know, so I'm seeing you like channeling this information and trying to say what you want to say. And everything that you said was just absolutely right on the money. It really perfect. And I think too, sometimes when we have an experience where we see, like you yesterday watching this experience, sometimes when we observe someone else's experience, and again, your third dimensional reality is an experience. That's why we came here. That's why it feels real. It is real. It's all real. And like we said, none of it's real, but it's all real. The experience itself is real. and
it does exist. Everything does exist.
Yes, it does.
Yes. But you are not that. You are in everything, but you are not that. You are not that pain. You are not that sorrow. You are not that grief. You are not that anger. You are not that mad state. No, you are not that. But that
yes,
you can experience that.
Exactly. And something I wanted to reiterate on that is, how do I want to put this? It'll come back to me. I have to formulate what I was going to say. They were sending me something, and I was going
Yes,
to.
they are.
It was something. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so
just the 2 words of love language.
That's it.
You remember
a lot of times, and this has been my experience as well, and I've seen this with other people, observing someone else's happiness. And this happens a lot. Oftentimes, it happens on both ends. So oftentimes what will happen is we observe somebody experiencing pure happiness, and yet in our joy even though we're joyful for them, we sometimes feel sad. Like when we look at somebody who's having this joyful experience, it's often triggers a sadness in us that is, it's that chord that's being strummed, if you will, telling you that you have a belief that you're sad. We're sad because we identify that that's missing in our lives. And so even though we can be really excited and happy for someone, a lot of times we feel this sense of almost a sadness, which is odd when you're happy for someone, because it's reflecting the places in our lives where we aren't experiencing that and know we can.
And know we can.
And know we can. And then we
You
feel
know what?
sad because someone else is experiencing it and we think we can't. And so in our wanting to be happy for other people, we often feel a sadness that for ourselves that's what's missing. But what happens is that we tend to then reverse that mirror, and then we find ourselves not being able to give the people support and unconditional love for their journey of their happiness, because we feel this lack of happiness in our lives. Therefore, we can't acknowledge it in someone else's life outwardly, because if we acknowledge it in someone else's lives, then it makes us even sadder because we're acknowledging that it's missing in ours. And it's a very weird thing.
There are many reasons why people are experiencing that, what you're talking about. Many reasons and many levels as we perceive it. As I see, as I experienced, it can be seen in as an example this way. Everything that is happy has its opposite that is sad. You cannot be, if you want to be attached or believe that you cannot be only happy, because in this reality of dualistic or material 3D world, you at the same time have to experience sadness. That is one level. Another level is that we somehow, as I believe, have to reach awareness that we are all one. And not that we are one body, but that we are that one who has infinite bodies in this existence. And that when we can reach awareness of being that one, we can experience feelings of every person on the world. But till then that we reach that awareness, we are in some kind of closed room of our suppressed feelings or beliefs. And when we are perceiving the world from our beliefs or suppressed feelings, we cannot reach the ultimate reality. And we will always, and we can in that state only perceiving it not at whole, at abundance, but at the lack of something, whatever. So as I believe, as I'm trying to reach, I am not focused on solve every problem or tasks or whatever that I see in my being as not completely integrated. But when I try to be aware who I really am, I get a completely different perspective. And that what I believe that exists as a lack of something doesn't exist anymore, because when you reach awareness who you really are, you became aware that you are abundance, that you are love, that you are already everything you can and you cannot imagine, that everything is you, that is nothing but you. And okay, you can play with healing. You can play with, I don't know how many techniques to work on your shadow, to work on your grief, to work on your empty place in your being, whatever. But at the same time, if you are willing to put some of your energy in to become aware of who you really are, that you are everything, you can reach, I don't know how it's played, infinitive of everything. That is my experience. Thank you very much. Ehela kramanato, tihareyana, antierko atana, elohela klayana, elo harakatone, elo hwahyana takayo. I love you so much, everyone.
Oh, we love you so much, Dolores. We love you, love you, love you, love you. Oh my God, what a beautiful messages. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
And you know, I want to remind everybody, you see Dolores, you know, and I want to say it again, you know, she's channeling her higher self. The information's coming through and she's not thinking it, she's channeling it, she's receiving it, and she's transmitting it.
Thanks, Dave. Woohoo! Dave support. Dave support. So I want to go back here quickly. I would like to give some space for Alicia to share. She wants to do a screen share because we have a cool side conversation going on here in the YouTube live chat, thanks to Dorvin returning. So thank you. Alicia, did you want to present some of the photos? Because I know this is like totally different topic here, but it's fascinating and there's a lot of discussion going on.
If you guys are cool with that, I can definitely do that. For sure, that one we can talk about. Sure.
Yeah, because I know people wanted to see it and they're like, how do I get a hold of you and blah, blah, blah. And so let's just show it here so we can do this. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I have that. Hopefully that works. Oh, wait, yes. Do I have to, can you see it or do I have to?
We can see it.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I can't see what you guys were talking about in the chat, but so this is what I was talking. So here's the, okay, so this is Ramses and Hathor is here and she has the Ankh and then she has this like scepter thing, which I have a name for it, but it's somewhere in my notes. I don't know what it's called offhand. But anyway, so here she's giving Ramses extra long life. And the chat was talking about the difference between like the Ankh being used for long life and then the Ankh being used for like teleportation. So let me just go quickly through and see if I can find the pillars. So in order for long life, this is how it works. And Ramses actually did have a long life for that incarnation on Earth. Okay, so these are an example of these pillars. There should be another one. These were found in Nefertari's tomb. These are the pillars that you need all three things, plus the codes, and then the DNA to do the teleportation. And if you look on Nefertari's tomb, the paintings on her tomb, they actually show the pillars. The pillars are painted all over the tomb. So this was, this one right here was when I recognized a ring that I used to have, and I took a picture of it and the ring vanished. There was no ring there whatsoever. And then the next picture I took of it, the ring was there. And I didn't quite understand what was happening until Ramses explained it to me. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share about the Ankh. I think that's a really great example of how it's used, how these two pieces are used for long life. Obviously, you need the incantation and the codes in order to do it. And then, you know, if you're going to teleport, you need the pillars. The pillars are like in I can't think of what movie it's called, but they have like the pillars would be the transportational thing, portal would be in between the two pillars once you get everything hooked up. Yikes. I haven't talked about this stuff in a long time. So that's there you have it, folks. That's what I know.
That's so cool, Alicia. Do you think that also, because I remember that article you had shared on, what was it, Facebook? And this was right around the time that Wendy and you and everybody was getting all those synchronicities about mother's milk and everything.
Oh,
so that was
right.
That was a process, or that was a part of the longevity of extending the lifetime as well in ancient Egypt, right?
Yes, exactly. There is a really great article on the mother's milk, and that's another piece of extending the life. And Hathor can do it. Isis can do it. I would assume, from my understanding, like Bastet and Sekhmet can do it. So it seems kind of like the Egyptian goddesses being mothers have that milk, that milk, and it's like actual milk that is like extra life milk. It's confusing, but yeah, I almost forgot about that. I actually had an experience where I had a time jump, and I gave the milk to somebody, but it was like in a jar. It was in a jar mixed with like gold and stuff. So it wasn't like
gold. I was just going to bring up monatomic gold and ormus. Yep. So that was also a way of extending life.
When I rubbed it on them, it like broke off the pieces and gave them new life, new extended life, and a new outlook.
You said it broke off the pieces?
Yeah, so like it would be like like a cocoon, and you like break out of this cocoon in like a new life, like now you're a butterfly. So like you shed the old and you have the new. Does that make sense? Okay, right. So that's kind of what it was like. So in my experience, the person that I did it to was like being held like in a prison of sorts, and needed healing in many ways. And so it was like pieces of the old breaking off and healing the pieces underneath, so like the brand new could come about. But without that mother's milk and the gold and whatnot that Isis gave me, it wouldn't have happened. If that makes sense.
That's fascinating. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Alicia.
Yep.
That's really cool. I didn't see, okay, cool. Cool. Well, all right. So Wendy, where do you want to go?
Well, how are we doing on time? It looks like look at that. See,
here.
We didn't even, this happens all the time. We're like, well, we don't have any really, the only topic we had was what we, what we went into. And then now here we are. So, wow, you guys, I can't believe it.
Why don't we we should do some light language sharing and close out for the day.
Close out, yeah, because boy, we're already into 2 hours. I never thought we really, this is how it goes.
I knew.
This is how it goes, you guys.
I knew it was gonna,
We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep it short today.
No, I can't talk a lot.
I can't talk today. Well, thanks to you guys though. I didn't have to do all the talking.
So, all right, then let's start sharing some light languages. Who would like to share? Would anyone like to share?
This isn't light language, but when Wendy was talking before about feelings and Dolores, something that came to me is, we're totally capable of feeling more than one thing at one time. There's all the feelings, and it's just a choice to which one will be dominant, which one feels best, and of course that's the one that resonates with love, but there's those knee-jerk reactions and things like that, and that's what becoming conscious is about, is cutting those out and feeling everything and knowing what is with the heart, because it all kind of goes back to the heart. Okay, that's all I want to say.
Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Haven't we been hearing that all of our lives? Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. But we don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
Do we?
And also, whatever path you choose, make sure it's a path with heart.
Yeah, true that.
And that's, quite.
That's a good point, Ivy, because a lot of us choose a path that's only mind-based and not heart-based.
If you have to think about it a lot, like, well, okay, so let me think about all the different options. And so I think if this happens, then I have to think about this, then I have to think, and then what about the, it's so much. And if you feel it in here, you feel it in here. And that's
a very
made it a lot more simple.
Good way to put it, you guys, because
the feeling is simple. The mind is chaos.
And you know what?
Complete
that's what follow your heart means, because what you guys.
Okay. One thing, I went to this Buddhist place in Knoxville a while back, and they had this picture on the wall, and the Lama guy was explaining to us that it was a picture of a mountain with switchback that goes up to the top, and there's an elephant, and he says the mind is like a wild elephant, and you have to keep it on the path, and sometimes you have to use the hook and the whip to keep the elephant on the path. And then of course the temple was at the top of the mountain. And for Western people, we could probably use the analogy of the mind being like a wild horse.
Yeah. Well, I like the analogy of the mind. So the conscious mind is an ant, and the subconscious mind is an elephant, and the ant is sitting on top of the elephant's head, and the ant's like, go here. The conscious mind, and the subconscious mind's like, I'm an elephant. I'm gonna get over here. I don't care. So that's why. But the more that we awaken, the more that we elevate our consciousness and become more aware of ourselves and of the world, and go through this process, we are able to start to bring those two pieces together, so there's not so much separation and division and lack of integration. And that's what this is all about. And light languages play a phenomenal
integration.
Well, sure. I mean, me speaking light language years, all these years has been played a part in where I am today.
Yeah.
And it's funny you guys said that just now about the thinking and the mind, the thinking mind and the heart thing, because that's what was not surprised me. What's a better word? But that's what surprised me the most about this whole idea of my situation was I never had to think about it once. Not once. I didn't have to think about it. I knew. And then it was making or asking. Then it was asking my guides, how do I allow this to happen for the best of all concerned? So it wasn't about, I'm going to think about this and then figure out how I'm going to do it. That's not how it happened. And look how fast it was able to manifest. We're still kind of shocked at that.
Really fast.
Really fast.
Really freaking fast.
I mean, how
it was just perfect with light. For the elven fairy queen, it was just perfect and light and sparkly. Was there unicorns present too?
It is really magical. So I mean, just thank you all
of you
so much, even for your good wishes, your support, your energy, your commenting, your liking, your whatever, reaching out to Wendy, just sending good thoughts. And we really appreciate the support that we have. And like Wendy was talking about earlier, it is the support that has been able to make this possible.
It really has been. I'm not kidding you guys. Without all of the support that I had, it's not that the decision couldn't have been made. It was, I think, my belief in the process,
the belief in the possibility, that it could actually happen. And a lot of that too was Bree too, because I had that, well, we should wait, and maybe we should go after the holiday, after Thanksgiving. She's like, Wendy, you tell me when we're leaving.
You tell me
we're gonna
if
leave.
You want this to happen by your birthday, you need to tell me right now, because if you want it, I will make it happen. And I'm telling you, within 24 hours, all of the arrangements were made. I mean, the people that needed to be taught to support her, for the people she supports, were taught, and the flights were made. All of their, I mean, it was like one thing after another. It was very.
So again, it's going back to like knowing like feeling it and knowing in your heart, that's where I'm destined. That's where I feel like I belong, knowing that feeling. And it could be anything. It could be a new job. It could be, you know, a hobby, a pastime, new friends, whatever it is.
And if you guys don't think that morning when I woke up and realized that, you know, Kaz was not in this reality with me anymore, the knowing set in immediately. It was like there was no need to make a decision. And I know all of you can relate to this, because no matter whether it's talking to a parent when you're a kid and you want to do something or go somewhere or ask for money, or whether it's we always fear the outcome, because we fear the thing that we're going to manifest it the way we don't want it. And we realize, just like Dolores said earlier, well, if you can manifest what you don't want, you can certainly manifest what you do.
Yes.
It's the belief that we don't.
You can.
And the thing, you guys, that freaked me out the most about the whole thing was, how many times have we gone to have a conversation with someone, whether it's a parent or whoever, an authority figure of some form, or not authority, that's not what I would say. Someone you want to have a conversation with that you think is going to be a difficult conversation. It was almost like if I would have given the conversation any thought with my mind instead of my heart, I probably would have never said a word that day. And so that's what's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought myself right out of it.
And what if this and this person's going to feel this way and that person's going to feel that way, and then I'm going to have to do that.
And that, I think, is the big thing too, is that we fear the reaction. And yet if we can come to terms with what's the worst possible thing that can happen, and that's okay, then I realize I can also make the best possible thing happen.
Yes.
Why is it so hard? Why is it so easy for us to believe the worst thing that can happen, but it's so difficult for us to believe that the best thing that can happen?
Right.
And that's what happened here.
It is. And it's lovely. So I see that Sean had raised his hand. What's up, Sean?
I just wanted to do a blessing. Oh,
yes,
okay.
Please.
Yes, please. We'll do some blessings and then we'll close out today. It's already, been a couple hours. So
sounds good. Go for it, Sean.
God bless this mess. Okay, but in seriousness, because don't forget, blessings are not all about like all the seriousness stuff, you know. Sometimes blessings are just about having fun, you know. So because like God isn't this like ultra serious, you know, or source isn't this ultra serious thing. It just wants us to be in our natural state, you know. Anyway, Waya na yata ya niashia soto no ya kono no no na wa niashia tuko dono na anaka alaku yato sinni atolo anaka ite ashia so moya tanawa mamane atia kato shono nia alakaya tiasi soto no wa moya talasha moya te moya tanana to kototo ese moya tiata yashi solea no na wana ite yashi asolaya alakanana te ania tiashi shia sana wa moya kai te amorashi shia knia tuna alakaya ia siashi sonono wa moana na hea tayaki yashi shiganana alakanana te afiashi so sonowa. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Nasivi inamakuapa ishna teata inanana katura yavasha sete ke semashana pilavi naniato umbakia naniato davashana tevi itavakunama eva somoshota vishana tiliana malakota vishana tevi anomalakota vashana so. Sean, so I'm going to say it again. Nyavashana te, thank you for all your support on Nyavashana te lamikita, because a lot of my belief in me was about your belief in me. Navashanati inabiki asama safishanati sevashanati viganabiato fashion set of inabalakinabiato fishanase miata shinase. And I wanted to just say thank you to you and all of you for helping me believe in me. Navashanati, because you believed in me. Navashanati.
Thank you.
I know you do. Thank you, Sean. And I'm going to let everybody else do blessings from here forward because, yeah, that was mine.
Okay. Thanks, Sean. We love you. Would anybody else like to go next? Oh, wait, somebody said, oh, Temple. Go for it, Temple.
Nashitayasi inkiato ubujuga ashas ya hanaka liato uno. Neasu ubujuga ajana atai niato lushuku nia ya oya. Ya ana aya oya shu ni iotu ubuasha. La ia oshiki ana ala io onosia hoko omoshotai. Abiashania sanaya atayaso naya satia ko oshonaya po ola. Naya hanatia, boshutia su una piashona sanahiata, yaka anatu unushia mo otaya siatata, aliana setiata, asiata. Namaste.
Namaste. Yafashonate vi ilaki samasono peshenate. Izamashonate. You were one of the first people I wanted to talk to, Alicia. So yeah, well, I'll have to hang out. Yeah,
come to Florida.
Woohoo! Come visit us. Come on.
Thanks, Alicia.
Thank you, Alicia.
I'll just pack up the shop and we'll be right down there.
Oh, good. Great. It'll be great.
And then you guys, I can all just employ you guys to like help out. And then we'd have so much time because everything would get done. So
exactly. See?
Of course.
That's how that works.
Yeah. Hire me and I'll drive you to Florida.
Awesome.
Hey, she's told me, you just pay my way, I'll fly anywhere you want.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, it's true.
She is the professional.
She's the relocator.
I am the relocator. I specialize in Wendy's. But I can relocate other types
beings,
of beings and things. So Sean said, thanks, Wendy, for your incredible words. I've been left speechless.
Oh, Sean.
Sean, we love you.
Love you guys.
Thank you, Alicia. Would anybody else like to say, oh, Dolores?
I know, Dolores does.
Duh. I thought you were going to say, duh. Okay.
Da. Da is yes. Da. Da. Ne, you know. Da, ne.
Oh my God.
She's so funny.
Okay. My new video has name My Precious Life. And I would like to share it, a part of it, because it is long, but only a part of it, because I believe that it's so, in a way, in that energy in which you are now. And you break it when you want to stop it, okay?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm not going to break it. You break it, girl.
Yeah, you break it.
You stop it when you want to.
Right.
I'm not going to stop it for you.
Yeah, you do it.
Okay.
Wherever you think is the right place, we're going to leave it to you.
Just play a few minutes of it or whatever you'd like to. That's fine. We have time. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Hilalakyo varo mamahe Hilavakayo haro tarane Ammane quiero Hareya yatana tihamanakyo Halaik vahorene Lavane kiahove Ammane vahare Mamavatya kirmane kirhane
God, Dolores, you put me in a love trance.
You should hear a whole
Song.
a song, and you will be in trance. Okay.
I already was, but
Yeah.
yes.
For sure.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
You always do transport me to new places.
Yeah. Yeah, true that.
All of us.
That's
Very hypnotic.
And you
Very
inspire
that
me to sing
ancient
more.
shaman energy meets technology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it does. It inspires me to be more of outwardly what I want to be doing.
Yes.
An amazing art,
Yes,
Dolores.
I can't wait to have you on the show Friday.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, just a quick reminder about that again for everybody. So, and it will be free for the public to watch on awaketvnetwork.com. You guys can watch Wendy and Dolores this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Central time. On the network.
How do they do that? How do they go watch the live stream stuff on
If you just go to the main Awake TV Network watch page, so it's like you go to awaketvnetwork.com and you can click go to network or something.
Yeah, and it's like, and then it plays what that day's live, and then you can watch it live.
I'll put the link in the YouTube live chat because things are still being kind of changed.
Yeah,
so
things are still in
if you go to awaketv.vhx.tv, that is the literal watch page. Oh shoot, I have to put the HTTP. Okay, there we go. tv.vhx.tv. Watch Wendy and Dolores. So, and then it's next week is you and Alicia?
No, next week is just me. Unless I decide to do something else, and you're welcome to join me, Bree. And then the weekend after that would be Alicia from Temple Beautiful.
Okay, great. So it's the following.
So yeah,
it's 444.
Woohoo, 444. Well, you know what? The angel numbers. I think that's a beautiful place to say goodbye. Does anybody else have
I'm going to do a little closing blessing then.
All right, let's do that. Let's do that.
I will provide.
Love you guys. Thank you. Please do join us again next week and on Fridays, and let me know if there's anything I can do for y'all. And until that time, light languages galore.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Really, thank you for being here and being
Follow
part
your
of this.
heart, and everything's possible.
Seeing what is possible. So with that said, I want to wish you all a beautiful day and a beautiful week. We will see you next week. We will be back here on YouTube at 2 p.m. Eastern time, which is 1 p.m. Central time, which is going to be the new time. So it's 11 minutes sooner than before.
11 minutes, yeah.
So we will see you every week here, and stay tuned on Wendy's website, languagesoflights.com. We have the events page where you can see upcoming events. Things are going to start to get moving here. I think it's now that the move has happened.
Yes.
Now it's like
It's time to
the next
move.
part. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, look at who just joined.
Who's here? Who's here?
Ivan.
Dude. Ivan. You. I've already talked to Xenia. Dude, you guys got to come visit.
Yeah, for real.
Come on, you got to come visit.
We're going to talk, Ivan.
Yeah.
We're going to talk. So thanks for joining today. All right. Here is our closing blessing. Thank you all. Thank you all for existing.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
And you. All right.
Happy birthday to me.
Hey, that is tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. So if anybody wants to rein in the Wendy birthday blessings, you can contact her. languagesoflights@gmail.com. Go to her website. Find her on Facebook. Anything and all. And we have Ivan here. I just want to switch this really quick. Can you say hello? He's driving.
Hello, guys. I'm fucking you guys.
What's up, Ivan?
Surprise!
All right, someone calm down that child back there. I don't know what's going on. I think she's out of control.
He leaves for a weekend. See what happens.
See?
Yeah.
No, I'm super stoked for you guys. Seriously.
Thank you.
We can't wait for you guys to come visit, dude. Let's do a live hangout here.
That would be freaking epic.
Let's do this.
Yes.
It's gonna happen. Yes.
I just need an address so I can come visit you guys.
Oh, I'll message you.
No
we'll
worries.
talk.
No worries.
Talk. We'll figure it out. It's good to see you here, though. Hey, Ivan, did you want to share any light language before we finish?
Actually, yes, I do. And that's all I got.
And it was really exciting because I got to meet you. I got to meet Dave in person the same weekend. I got to meet you and Xenia and so many wonderful other people. And you guys have really, really, really changed my life. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you guys in person again.
Well, you have to realize as well, you've changed a lot of people's lives just by that.
Oh, that's just beginning.
Just saying. Just saying.
Thank you.
Thank you for saying that.
Thanks, Ivan.
Thank you.
It's really sweet.
Me and Xenia and Ivan were sitting at the same table together.
Oh, I
forgot about that.
That's cool.
Yes, we were.
And AJ.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody was there. This feels very magical. It feels a little surreal, to be honest. I can't imagine how they feel. But for me, it feels a little surreal just being here, hanging out in Florida, you know. Not what I did not expect to go to Florida twice in 1 year. I can say that much.
Especially within a couple of months.
Within a couple of months. And yeah, it's snowing in Wisconsin, so I'm perfectly happy going on a vacation. Trust me. I don't like snow. All right, we're going to close out for today.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye. Thank you for joining us. I'll do a quick blessing and then I will end the show. And we will stick around in here for a little bit to say goodbye. But we have to eat food and do
so if you guys want to stay in, chat for a little while privately, that's great.
As always.
Hop in.
As always. All righty. Antasauri shanna siao antasao antiasao huaini hio koa hasao to shano tianyo uati soto shoku ane toto sohao au iranya utushu ut ayato and esik it au init eset esiot oshoa yanaut ates autes ikisio toshoko otar ata desato soko to shoko andaya ondoto andaya yatata tonia uaishu mo aiowa au mo hua ne uashu ur ayunao kana si shiu Wanio, uia, yuno, muishi, yo, sete, yo, shanyatase.
I guess we've been having some fun.
Mia, yo, sete, si, yo, hota, se, hia, so, hoto, shane, se, maya, se, shasokoa, nente, se.
Maya se, I love that. Maya se te avashanan Maya se okonia.
Nantia sa okay. Yo so sho so te se. Thank you everybody. We will see you next week. We love you all. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Take care. Toodaloo.